How's it going, guys? It's Dave and welcome back to the channel today for some more Football Manager 2019. But today is something a bit different. We're going to be looking at this fantastic 2003 to 2004 database, which has just been released in the last day or so by the legend and the crazy guy that is the Mad Scientist FM. And this guy has produced one of the best databases I think I've seen so far this year. I know he's done a couple before, but this one is very, very interesting. I think it's quite fortunate the year that he's done it in, because obviously Wolves are a Premiership, or were a Premiership team back then, just for that little spell in the early noughties. So we're going to be looking at the Wolves squad today from this 2003-2004 database, but a little bit of background on it first. If you want to download it, there is a link in the description. I'll make sure I put a link to download it and the Mad Scientist's Twitter. So if you do have any questions for him, obviously ask him those. I know he's copied all the player attributes, the current abilities and potential abilities from Championship Manager 4, and I believe the leagues on it, you've got the English Premier League, the English Second Division, so the Championship, you've got the Italian Serie A and Serie B, France Ligue 1 and Ligue 2, German Bundesliga, the Spanish Premier Division, the Scottish Premier Division, and the Danish Superliga. But, as I say, we're going to be checking out Wolves. But before we do, make sure you go and check out the sponsors of the channel over at OneFootball, the #1 football app out there at the moment. Make sure you go and check those out. A download link to those is at the top of the description as well. You can check out all the live scores and live news for your favourite teams. You get push notifications for your favourite teams as well. As I say, OneFootball, fantastic app, free on iOS and Android, and you can check it out in the description down below. So then, here we are with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Quickly looking over it, predicted to finish 20th. Back then, we didn't have a fantastic squad. It's got the sort of current ground and stuff like that as well. And it's obviously got this this interesting little, it's set off in 2003 to 2002, 2003. So the history is all up to date, more or less. So Wolves, let's have a quick look before we look at the players as such. You've got Dave Jones as manager. Now, captain and vice captain are still set as Connor Cody, Ruben Neves, but I don't believe they're in the database at all, so we can't even have a look at them. But we've got obviously all of that good stuff there. The let's have a look. Chairman, it doesn't say as such who it is. I was going to see if it was going to be Sir Jack. We've got Jez Moxey still as managing director, Sir Jack Hayward still there, Matthew Perry still as chief doctor, a few members of staff. We've got Terry Connor there, Chris Evans in as a coach. You've got sort of the throwback of staff there as well. Obviously Keith Down in the under-18s manager with Dave Jones. Interesting. I like the look of this. Very nice indeed. So the players itself, we're going to be looking at the senior squad first. Let's do it in position order. So the two goalkeepers, we've got Matt Murray and Michael Oakes. Matt Murray, still only 22 years of age. Looks a very solid goalkeeper, to be honest. 6'4", he's a tank. You've got the handling of 16, one-on-ones of 15. Some really good attributes there. Reflexes and rushing out of 14 and 15. So for a young goalkeeper, he's really, really good. I like the look of him a lot. Some really good attributes in key areas, to be honest. So overall, that's a good start for Wolves. Next up, the goalkeeper Michael Oakes is actually wanted at the start of the game by Burnley, Cardiff and Stoke. 29 years of age again, so coming towards the prime for a goalkeeper. Not quite there just yet. But you can see he's got handling, kicking, one-on-ones, reflexes and throwing. All decent attributes in the right areas. Physically, he's pretty good as well. So a nice looking goalkeeper, a good way to start us off so far. Next up, we've got, now I know this guy, but someone pronounced it completely different to the way I would pronounce it yesterday. So let's say Oleg. Let's just call him Oleg. I'm not going to risk it. He's a right back. He can play centre half, anywhere up the right hand side as well. And he completely looks like a really decent player. Obviously, getting on a little bit now at 34 years of age. Played for the likes of Arsenal, Dynamo Kiev. Some good teams in there. And physically, he's deteriorating a little bit. Stamina is good, to be honest. Decent height for a full back as well. technically is rather good, to be honest. Tackling of 17, marking of 14. His heading is 14 as well. He's a bit of a tank, to be honest, and I think he'd do a job at centre half as well. Of 20 work rate, 16 teamwork, a really decent player overall. Obviously, guys, make sure you hit the pause button if you want to look at any of these attributes a little bit more in depth, or download the database if you want to look for yourself. Paul Butler, 30 years of age, 20 heading, 15 marking, 15 tackling, 17 strength, 6'2", 18 determination. What a beast of a centre half. If you want a proper centre half who knows what he's got to do, pick this guy. He is fantastic. Really, really good. Quite a slow player overall, but really powerful. And that driven personality, obviously, will allow his attributes maybe to go one or two attribute points. But at 30 years of age, maybe not. Jody Craddock now, 27 years of age. Again, attributes quite similar to Butler. He's just a beast of a centre half. 6 foot, fantastic physically for a centre back. 16 heading, 16 tackling, 17 marking. Mentally really, really strong as well. Good anticipation and bravery with determination as well. Craddock looks like a good player, as he was for Wolves. Joleon Lescott now, a 20-year-old Joleon Lescott. So he's hopefully going to have high potential ability. Physically, he's outstanding. 6'2" again, 16 heading, 17 tackling, 15 marking, 18 bravery, 15 determination, professional personality. So in game, he's going to turn into a really, really good player. Isaac Okoronkwo, maybe, a 25-year-old Nigerian, another centre half. Again, physically, he's outstanding. Such a quick centre half. Could play either of the full-back positions as well. Some of these players have got some really good attributes. 6'2", 16 heading, 15 marking, 16 tackling. Really like the look of him. Dennis Irwin, obviously a bit of a legend. Manchester United made almost 400 appearances for them. Came to Wolves alongside a couple of players that we'll go through later. Physically, he's not quite there anymore. Quite a slow player. Obviously only at 5'8", so he was never dominant in the air. So his heading and jumping reach is a little bit low. But for a fullback, I suppose it doesn't matter too much. Great penalty taking as well. Good work rate. Overall, he's just an outstanding player. Tackling and marking's good. Determination's great. Obviously getting on a little bit now at 37, but really great player there, Dennis Irwin. Only valued at 200k. As you notice, a lot of the values are really low on this. Which I suppose is quite how can we say, quite apt for that time. There wasn't major transfers there. A young Lee Naylor as well, 23 years of age. Obviously came through the Wolves ranks, 17 tackling. I think defensively, Wolves have got a really decent side, to be honest. Overall, he's an okay player. 5'10", great natural fitness, good physically. Mentally, he could be a little bit stronger, but got some decent attributes in the defensive department. Now, Paul Ince, only valued at 30k, but he's a personality of perfection. He's 5'10", an absolute tank. Mentally, he's tremendous. 20 determination, 20 leadership, 20 work rate. Physically, he's great as well. Good strength, good balance and natural fitness. Great tackling as well. Really, really good defensive midfield type player. Mentally, you've got to be strong for that. Paul Ince is perfect. Fantastic, fantastic player. Next up is Johannes Carl Gudjonsson, Joey Gudjonsson. He's good as well, to be honest. On loan from Real Betis in game. Free kick taking is good. He's got great physicals as well, 5'8". I mean, he's a really good option to have in the centre of the park, to be honest. Next up is Sean Newton, right midfielder. Not fantastic, to be honest. Got a little bit of pace to him, 5'8", but other than that, mentally he's not brilliant. Got decent crossing and dribbling, okay finishing, but not the best of players in this squad. Next up is Colin Cameron. Great player for Wolves. Good mentally. Penalty taking of 19. Decent passer of the ball as well. And good physically as well. Again, similar to Paul Ince, he's not bad. He's actually a right midfielder, but I think he'd probably be a little bit more suited to a central midfield slot, to be honest. Alex Ray next up. Alex Ray, again, fantastic mentally. No mentals lower than 11, which is flair. Aggression at 12. But other than that, key areas, he's fantastic. He getting a little bit on the slow side at 33, but mate, the midfield and defence, I honestly think you could. I know they're predicted to finish 20th Wolves here, but surely they've got some great players. Great players, a really good core for the squad. Hassan Chaklu, to be honest, I've not heard of this guy before. If you have, let me know how good he was for Wolves. He's okay. Again, nothing stand out as such with him, but 16 penalty taken, a couple of decent attributes in decent areas. Kevin Cooper, 28 years of age, left midfielder. Not the strongest of left midfielders, to be honest. Decent at corners and crossing. Okay, long shots. Physically, he's not fantastic. Decent teamwork. An okay option to have, I suppose. Silas, Portuguese man, would fit in quite well now, I suppose. Flair of 17, decisions of 16. A nice player to have, a nice attacking option to have there. 5'9". Moving on now to Mark Kennedy. I used to love this guy, and he's a fantastic, really good left-hand sided player on the left wing. 16 corners, 18 crossing, 16 dribbling, 16 first touch. Brilliant, brilliant. 13 long shots as well. Physically, he's okay. 16 off the ball. I think he'd be a great option to have on the left-hand side. Really in his prime now, at 27 as well. Stefan Iverson, striker. He's okay, a bit of a tank, isn't he? 6'1", 17 heading, 16 natural fitness, 14 jumping reach. So good off the ball and vision as well. 6'1", could definitely be a good option for Wolves. We've got Henri Camara. Used to love this guy, a bit of a tank. 17. I keep saying that, don't I? Tank. 17 pace, 15 acceleration, 5'9". He was so quick. 16 dribbling. They've actually got him listed as a winger, I think. Anywhere across those front four positions, he could be fantastic. He got good off the ball too, so he'll get in the right areas for you. Georgian Dar, fantastic, so quick, 6'1". That pays for a guy who's 6'1". Great strength, great heading, great finishing. Overall, a really decent player to have, really decent striker. A shame about his injuries at Wolves. Could have been a real legend. A young Kenny Miller as well, 23 years of age, very quick. Moves into the channels, player traits, likes to try and beat the offside trap. That could be key, having him on the last man's shoulder. Okay finishing. Overall, a really decent striker for this level, to be honest. And Dean Sturridge. Wow, fantastic finishing. 18 finishing. Quick as well at 5'8". Wow, he looks like a really good player. 29 years of age. You're going to be expecting to get goals off him. Fantastic looking player. So that's the first team. Now in the under-23s are some players as well. Adam Federici, who started off his career at Wolves. Not the best goalkeeper in the world, only valued at 300 quid. There's nothing really to look at there. Carl Hakimi as well. A 17-year-old Carl Hakimi, quite similar to Federici. Nothing in particular to look at. Mark Clyde. Not the best image of young Mark there. Physically, he's okay. 6'1". For a centre-half, I think at that age, he's not bad at all. We've got Keith Lowe, centre-half as well. A 17-year-old. I think for a 17-year-old, that Keith Lowe's all right. We've got Mark Little, the right back. Again, okay. Daniel Jones is a left back who's gone on to play at a decent, well, fairly decent level. We've got Keith Andrews, he's on there. He's out on loan at Stoke. He actually looks pretty good for a 22-year-old. Not bad at all. Keith Andrews. Stephen Gleeson. Again, not fantastic. 14-year-old Stephen Gleeson at that, who's a central midfielder. Sammy Klingen. Again, determination's good, so he may go on to something, but only 19 years of age. John Mulligan, who is an attacking right winger. He's not too bad. Got a couple of decent attributes in key areas, but nothing. He's not too quick. Nathan Blake, 31 years of age. He's actually not too bad. Good finishing, good first touch. As a winger, probably not so much, but as a striker, I think he's quite good. Decent physicals, good strength. I think as a striker, he'd be okay, to be honest, rather than a winger. Leon Clark as well, a young Leon Clark at 18 years of age. Probably not going to improve massively at 6'2" there. And moving on to the under-18s, there is the only the one player, Wayne Hennessy, who is 16 years of age, looks fantastic, much better than Carl Hakimi and Adam Federici at 6'5" as well. Looks like he could be a fantastic player. So guys, there is the Wolves team. Obviously they've got a couple of these players that have come in. All the staff are there as well, but if you guys want to go and check that out, make sure you go and head to the link in the description. Ask Mad Scientist any questions that you wish to ask. But a really interesting database. You've got some fantastic players in there from different leagues as well. Obviously we've gone on all these players, but if we go back all the way, if it's going to let us, some of the players that you'll see, obviously for like Arsenal, you're going to have the likes of Thierry Henry there and stuff like that. So really fun database. But make sure you hit the like button down below, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be sure to get some more videos out there as soon as I can as well. But if you enjoyed it, as I say, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all very soon.